Yo, it's Elut, and welcome back to my Forced Units Only Hard Mode run of Radiant Dawn. Today we're doing Part 3, Chapter 3. And if you watched my introduction video to this, you might recall me saying that there's one chapter in this whole run that is technically impossible under our rule set. And we've arrived at it. It is this chapter. If you don't know, this is the chapter where Ike and crew, normally and crew, would have to burn a bunch of crate supplies within 15 turns, but Ike actually can't do that on his own in this context. The main reason for that is he only has 7 move, doesn't fly, and there's a lot of small choke points on this map, and enemies very easily block that off. So my thinking going in was, okay, well, either Pass is going to be the best skill on Ike, or Celerity for +2 move is going to be the best on Ike. We also buy a Draco Shield from the bargain shop. But quickly I found that Celerity is vastly inferior to Pass. And the reason for that basically comes down to, well, do you want 9 move, but most of the time you're getting like 2 move because there are enemies in front of you? Or would you rather have a guaranteed 7 move with Pass? And Pass is way better. If Ike didn't have Shove as a locked skill, because Shove is 5 capacity, it's locked on infantry units, in the same way that Canto is a 10 capacity skill that's locked on mounted units, then we could do both, because Celerity and Pass are both 15 capacity, Ike has 30 total, but we can't do both, we can only do one. So Pass is way better, and the only way to beat this is to have the actual GOAT of FE10 help us out, which is Haar. So we put Celerity on Haar, and what Haar is going to do is he's going to fly over here and light this one crate on fire, and that's all he does for the entire chapter. With his help getting that one crate, Ike can perfectly get all the other crates by himself with Pass on turn 15, which is the final turn. So it's still like super down to the wire. I have a feeling, I haven't checked this myself, I have a feeling though on easy mode it might be possible to do this with just Ike because you have 18 turns in easy mode, but normal and hard you have 15. And going from this first crate with Ike to the second crate that Haar lit up is another 3 turns. So I figure it might be possible actually in that context, but in this context it's not. So, like I said, we went with Pass. We prefer to have guaranteed movement. And the important weapons that we brought in are the Wind Edge, just for breaking down the door for one thing, turn 1. That was important. And then it helps, kill a mage there and stuff. But we also brought the Pure Water from Ilyana in this chapter. We brought the Brave Sword, also from Ilyana and the Dawn Brigade from this chapter. And just like some other strong one-ranged weapons. Celerity would be nice if we had like Ragnell here or something, because that means Ike would pretty much be able to one-round anything that attacked him, because he would have 1 to 2 range. But Wind Edges are generally not going to one-round things, so that wouldn't really solve the problem that the Celerity build faces. So we're basically going to keep healing up and just going and burning crates. The diciest part of this chapter is right at the very end, because the boss is a dark mage, and there's like 1 or 2 mages up there with him, which is why we need the Pure Water, and even then Ike still has to dodge like 2 attacks or something like that. So I find this chapter very interesting, actually, that it's actually not possible with Ike on his own. But for the sake of continuing the run, and all that good stuff, we get by with a little help from Haar. We appreciate it. Alright, and then the reason we brought the Brave Sword is to potentially not take hits from mages and things like that, but more importantly, there's a crate in the top right that is blocked off by a halberdier, and we have to kill him in order to light that crate on fire. So just in case Ike wasn't doubling and one-rounding or something, the Brave Sword helps him quadruple, and that's a non-issue. But it's nice to have. No one in the Dawn Brigade is ever going to use it, so we may as well send it over here. Ooh, speed. Gotta love it. But as you can probably piece together, even with Haar's help and everything, I really can't waste turns at all on anything but going toward crates. Like, we have to only play the objective. We don't really have much wiggle room beyond that. We concoction, we don't need to really, but just so we potentially don't have to later. And then we don't kill that guy because that's one of the senators, that's not a bishop. And if we don't kill him, we get some bonus XP, so I just let him be. Doesn't even have a weapon equipped, so, you know, not gonna bother him, I guess. And then because we only have 7 move, we'll actually need 2 turns to get to the next... Well, 3 turns to light the next crate on fire, but 2 turns to actually get to the halberdier that's blocking it off. I would really love to play like a hacked version of this to where, you know, maybe you can take shove off of Ike's skills and then give him celerity and pass just to see if it's possible. I wager it is just by himself, but I think even then it would still be pretty close. Because you have to figure, you have to go through a lot of reed tiles and things like that. And like I said, even with, this is like the most efficient way that I could possibly do it in this context. And even then we're finishing on the very last turn, so would be pretty close, I think. Nice, so now we gotta kill this guy. Brave Sword just makes it a little more consistent. In case we got like bad level ups or something earlier, he'd probably still be able to one-round that guy. Nice, so we light this crate. We have a few more turns, but we have 2 more crates to get. And what we're going to do here is we're going to run to the left and Pure Water. Because I think with the Pure Water, Ike is taking like damage in the high teens from these mages. And you have to figure Pure Water is +7 res. So without that, he's most likely getting 2-shot, which is really, really bad. And the hit rates on the mages are not perfect, but they are worth noting. Like, they can absolutely hit him, and he faces a decent chance of death. Like, it's nothing to scoff at all. Let's see, do I have Pure Water here? Yes, I do. I probably could have waited till the next turn to do it, but at that point it really doesn't matter so much. That's like micromanaging, but... Crit. Cheeky. Alright, so we go up here, and we heal, I believe. Yeah. Probably a good idea. So you'll see the Thunder Mage, I believe, attacks us at 1 range, which does help. And he misses his first attack. But if the Dark Mage hits the next 2, we're pretty much dead. So he has to dodge 1 more. And Ike has no more turns left to heal, or Pure Water, or to attack anything. We have 2 turns, and we have 2 crates to get, so that's all we have left to do. And then I guess I should mention, there are a few tents here that you can visit. There's a Blossom, Skill Scroll, there's a Hammer and Staff, and then I think a Master Crown. I believe that's right. But we don't need any of those, really, in this context. They don't really do much for us. So, yeah, there's 17. Yikes. I think he would have done, like, 23 or so without the Pure Water, something like that. That's pretty bad. That's, like, nearly 2-shotting. But yeah, so since he missed that first one, we could afford to get hit by that second one. So a little bit of a correction there, but that's okay. Alright, and then turn 15, the final turn, we burn the last crate and we're out of here. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. That's a very interesting chapter for me. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool testing that and all that stuff. So thanks for watching. I will see you next time.